Hello everyone, welcome to Academy. Today we're going to study reading on Unit 8, Dangerous Journey in History on page 66 and 67. Well, as usual, I want to review a little bit of our previous lesson before we start our new one. Okay, so in last session, you studied our listening and speaking about fears and phobias. So what were the words that you learned in the previous session? Okay, so we have a few words. The first one is autophobia. Autophobia is a fear of being alone. As you know, the word auto here means by yourself or you working independently without help. And phobia is a fear of something. So autophobia is the fears of being alone. It's a fear of being yourself. The second is aviophobia. Aviophobia is a fear of flying. Third, phygophobia. Phygophobia is a fear of feeling cold. So in short, the word phobia means the word fear. So when you see that word, it means the word fear. អញ្ចឹងនៅពេលដែលយើងឃើញពាក្យថា phobia មានន័យថាអារម្មណ៍ភ័យខ្លាច ហើយពាក្យទាំង3នេះគឺជាប្រភេទនៃអារម្មណ៍ភ័យខ្លាចផ្សេងៗគ្នាដូចជាភ័យខ្លាចនៅពេលដែលយើងនៅតែឯងភ័យខ្លាចនៅពេលដែលយើងហោះហើរនិងភ័យខ្លាចដែលពេលដែលមានអារម្មណ៍ថាត្រជាក់ Okay, so now let's start with our new lesson. So today we study reading, so by the end of the lesson, you will be able to read for specific information, meaning that you will be able to read the text and answer for detailed questions. First, I want you to do the vocabulary word. So in this exercise, you're going to download the vocabulary exercise and do it on your own. You have 5 minutes to do the exercise, so pause the video now and do it. Okay, so let's start with vocabulary drillings. These are all the words in your vocabulary exercise. The first word is bold. So bold mean ភាពក្លាហាន set off mean ចេញដំណើរ snorkel mean មានន័យថាបំពង់ដកដង្ហើមសម្រាប់ពេលយើងហែលទឹកភាគច្រើននៅពេលដែលយើងហែលទៅក្រោមទឹកបាតជ្រៅយើងមានបំពង់មួយសម្រាប់ជំនួយយើងដកដង្ហើម defeat មានន័យថាបរាជ័យ illiterate មានន័យថាដែលមិនចេះសរសេរឬក៏អានអក្សរ ascent មានន័យថាការឡើងឬក៏ភាពជោគជ័យ march មានន័យថាដំណើរដើរជាក្បួន manpower មានន័យថាជាកម្លាំងមនុស្ស So again, I will repeat word by word and word, so you can repeat after me. Bold, set off, snorkel, defeat, illiterate, ascent, march, manpower. Okay, so now let's go to the warm-up activity. So I want you to look at the pictures on page 66 and 67, then guess problems that could have happened. You will see the pictures on both pages, and then I want you to guess what would be the problem from the picture. You have 2 minutes. Pause the video now. Alright, so based on my idea, I think that from what I see in the picture, I think that the problem could be crossing mountains, because we can see many people walking along the mountains, crossing the river, and also running out of food, because many people they set off the journey, so they look hungry and tired, so they might have a problem of running out of food. Alright, So here is text A. as I tell you, this reading is about two famous leaders. The first one named Hannibal, and the second one is Mao Zedong. So Hannibal is one of the greatest leaders to fight against the Romans. So here is the text. I want you to write the line number like me here, from number 1 to number 37. ចឹងខ្ញុំចង់ឲ្យអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាទៅសេលេខបន្ទាប់ពី sentence មួយ sentence ដូចខ្ញុំគឺពីលេខ 1 ទៅដល់លេខ 37 ទៅនៅខាងចំហៀងនៃ sentence នីមួយៗអញ្ចឹងនៅពេលដែលយើងធ្វើលំហាត់យើងនឹងត្រឡប់មកមើលទៅតាម line នីមួយៗដើម្បីបញ្ជាក់ទៅនឹងចម្លើយ So អ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាចំណាយពេល1 or 2 seconds ដើម្បីទៅសេ line. Alright, so here is the exercise of text A. In text A, I want you to read the text and answer the following questions. There are 5 questions. The first question, where was Hannibal born? When was he born? តើ Hannibal កើតនៅទីកន្លែងណាហើយនៅពេលណាដែលគាត់កើត Number 2, who were the enemy of Hannibal? តើនរណាគឺជាសត្រូវរបស់ Hannibal? Number 3, where did he move to? Why? តើគាត់ផ្លាស់ប្ដូរទៅទីកន្លែងណាតើមូលហេតុអ្វីបានជាគាត់ផ្លាស់ប្ដូរ Number 4, what problems did they face on the way? តើមានបញ្ហាអ្វីខ្លះដែលពួកគាត់ជួបប្រទះនៅតាមផ្លូវ And when did he die? តើគាត់ស្លាប់នៅពេលណា So all the 5 questions are the question for detail មានន័យថាសំណួរទាំង 5 ហ្នឹងគឺសំណួរដែលសួររកព័ត៌មានជាក់លាក់នៅក្នុងអត្ថបទ I will give you one example. Example number 1. Where was Hannibal born? When was he born? So when you answer the question, the first thing you have to do is to understand the keyword of the question. So what is the keyword? So the keyword is where and born, when and born. And ignore and don't care about grammatical word or functional words like the word was here. ចឹងនៅពេលដែលយើងធ្វើសំណួរដែលគេជាក់លាក់អ្វីដែលយើងដាក់ត្រូវធ្វើគឺទី1គឺយើងត្រូវរក key ពាក្យដែលសំខាន់នៅក្នុងសំណួរតើសំណួរគេចង់សួរពីអីចឹងនៅក្នុងសំណួរទី1គេចង់សួរតាក់ទងនឹង where ទីកន្លែង born ដែលគាត់កើតហើយនឹង when ពេលវេលាដែលគាត់កើតអញ្ចឹងនៅពេលដែលយើងដឹងអំពីពាក្យសំខាន់អញ្ចឹងនៅពេលដែលយើងទៅរកចម្លើយគឺងាយស្រួលឧទាហរណ៍ដល់សំណួរទី1 where was he born and when was he born អញ្ចឹងនៅពេលដែលយើងដឹង keyword where when you read the text you can find the answer on line number 1 and line number 2 Hannibal Barca was born in Carthage, North Africa in 247 BC អញ្ចឹងមានន័យថា place ទីកន្លែងដែលគាត់កើតគឺ in Carthage, North Africa, and when was he born? He was born in 247 BC. So BC មានន័យថាម៉េច BC មាន before Christ គឺជាពាក្យដែលគេសរសេរកាត់គឺ B and C before Christ គឺពេលវេលាដែលគេគិតមុនពេលដែលព្រះយេស៊ូវកើតនេះគឺជាអ្វីដែលគេជឿនៅក្នុងសាសនាគ្រីស្ទគឺ before Christ មានន័យថាគិតចាប់មុនពេលដែលព្រះយេស៊ូវកើត So this is a strategy. The first thing you have to understand the keyword and ignore all the functional or grammatical word. So how about question number 2? So the keyword is who, the enemy. Number 3, where did he move to? The keyword is where and move to and why. Number 4 is the problem on the way. And number 5 is when, die. Okay, so you have 5 minutes to do this exercise. You can pause the video now. Alright, so here are the answers. So number 1, we already take it, so just skip it. Move to number 2. Who were the enemy of Hannibal? So the answer is Roman on line number 6. You can find on line number 6 that his father said that his father was a general in the army and he met his son, promised to have the Roman forever. So Hannibal's father had the Roman and he told Hannibal to have the Roman. So the Romans were the enemies. Number 3. Where did he move to and why? So you can find on line number 11 and 13. So he moved from Spain to Italy. So the answer is Italy. And why he moved to Italy? He moved to Italy before the Romans had declared war on Spain. Meaning that he had the Romans and the Romans want to have a war with Spain. So he had to move to Italy. Number 4. What were the problems he faced? So you can find on line 19 and 26. The problem he faced is he was attacked by local tribesmen, Beirut rough, and slid over ice and snow. The last question, when did he die? You can find the answer on the last paragraph on line 13. He died at the age of 65. He committed suicide. Alright, so move to text B, Mao Zedong. I believe that most of you have heard Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong is the was one of the greatest leader in China. So do the same thing. I want you to write the number next to each sentence from number 1 to number, what's number? Number 45. Yes. So please write the number from 1 to 45 for text B. Okay, in text B, I want you to read the text and then identify the true false statements. Correct the false one. ចឹងនៅក្នុង text B ខ្ញុំចង់ឲ្យអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាមើលតើ sentence មួយណា true sentence មួយណា false ហើយបើជា sentence false សូមកែ sentence ដែលខុសហ្នឹងទៅជាត្រូវ So we have our 6 sentences. The first one, Mao Zedong's father was an educated person. So I will give you one example for you. Number 1, Mao Zedong's father was an educated person. This sentence is false. You can find it on line number 2. So in line number 2, it said that Mao Zedong, his father was an ambitious but illiterate farmer. មានន័យថាឪពុករបស់ Mao Zedong ហ្នឹងគឺគាត់គឺជាកសិករមួយដែលអត់ចេះអក្សរ So illiterate here mean as you learn in vocabulary word, illiterate mean unable to read or write. Educated person mean a person who is able to read and write. So it is the opposite meaning. ចាំមានន័យប្រយោគយើងគឺថាឪពុករបស់ Mao Zedong គឺជាអ្នកដែលមានចំណេះដឹងប៉ុន្តែនៅក្នុងអត្ថបទគេនិយាយថាគាត់គឺជាកសិករម្នាក់ដែលអត់ចេះអាននិងចេះសរសេរអញ្ចឹងមានន័យពីរហ្នឹងគឺផ្ទុយគ្នាអញ្ចឹងមានន័យថាប្រយោគហ្នឹងគឺ for so it must be Mao Zedong's father was an illiterate person. Okay, keep doing from sentence number 2 to sentence number 6 and you have 5 minutes. Pause the video now and do the exercise. Okay, now let's correct the answer. So, number 2, Mao formed military-based Korean army to fight against the nationalist government. This sentence is true. You can find the answer on line number 6 to line number 7. So let's go to line number 6 and number 7. He established a base in the remote Shaanxi province where they formed the Red Army to fight against the nationalist government. So in the text it said the word established. In here is the word form. So the word establish and the word form, it has a similar meaning. ចឹងមានន័យថាពាក្យ establish និងពាក្យ form គឺមានន័យដូចគ្នាមានន័យថាម៉ៅគាត់បានបង្កើតបន្ទាយទាហានមួយដែលមានឈ្មោះថា Red Army ដើម្បីប្រឆាំងជាមួយនឹង nationalist government. So this sentence is true. Next sentence, he started the journey to the north of China. It is also true. You can find it on line number 13. In line 13, it said that he set out to walk from the south to the north of China. ចឹងនៅក្នុងប្រយោគហ្នឹងគេនៅក្នុងអត្ថបទ they use the word set out. So the word set out means started ចាប់ផ្ដើមធ្វើដំណើរមានន័យថា set out to work from south to north of China. So the sentence is the same as started the journey to the north of China. ចឹងមានន័យ clear ពីហ្នឹងគឺមានន័យដូចគ្នាចឹង the sentence is true. Number 4, his fight was very successful at Jiang River crossing. The sentence is 4. You can find it on line 16 to 19. So on line 16, they started the march quite well, armed with 33,243 guns. But 5 weeks later, suffered their first disastrous defeat at the Jiang River crossing. អញ្ចឹងគេថា defeat at the Jiang River crossings នៅពេលដែលយើងឃើញពាក្យ defeat នៅក្នុងអត្ថបទ defeat មានន័យថាបរាជ័យ so បរាជ័យមិនមានន័យថា successful ទេមានន័យថា not successful, right? So it should be his fight was not very, but was not successful at Jiang River crossings. So the sentence is 4. Number 5, many men died from the lack of food at the Great Snowy. This sentence is also false. You can find the answer on line 24 and 25. Many men died from lack of oxygen. So it's they didn't die from the lack of food, but from lack of oxygen. The last sentence. After the long march, Mao lost his power in China. It is also false. You can find on line 37. So the long march began the ascent to power of Mao Zedong. So lost here means he was not powerful, but it said that he began the ascent to power. មានន័យគាត់ចាប់ផ្ដើមបានភាពជោគជ័យទៅនឹងអំណាចរបស់គាត់មានន័យថាគាត់មានអំណាចមិនគាត់បាត់បង់អំណាចទេ So the answer is false. Yes, that is for exercise in text B. So to wrap up, our readings is about 2 famous leaders and it's talk about their journey. So one was Hannibal. He was one of the greatest leaders to fight against the Romans. And second one was Mao Zedong. He was one of the greatest leader in China to fight against the nationalist government, and he also established the People's Republic of China and the Great Cultural Revolution. And the second thing you study today is about the strategies for reading for specific information. So first, you have to understand the keyword in each question. យើងត្រូវដឹងពីពាក្យសំខាន់នៅក្នុងសំណួរនីមួយៗ and the second one is to ignore the grammatical and functional words. មានន័យថាយើងកុំខ្វល់ពីពាក្យ grammar ឬក៏ pronoun ផ្សេងៗ យើងចាប់យកតែពាក្យសំខាន់ៗក្នុងសំណួរយើងអាចឆ្លើយសំណួរបាន Okay, and in the next section, you're going to study vocabulary and idiom about body language. And yes, this is the end of our class. Thank you everyone and thanks for your cooperation.